At the end of the day, what people gotta realize.
But go live on
No, but
StreamYard.
I'm gonna go here first, and then
But StreamYard, we don't have to show ourselves.
no, but I'm going live on here first though.
Okay.
I'm going live on here first.
But StreamYard is live.
No, I know that, but I want to go live on here first.
But
We
but
already live.
I'm not ready for that. Well, I'm not. No, my face. No.
Bae's a trip.
I'll be like on the side. But StreamYard, yeah, I'll go. I have to check myself. But hold on, man. Let me change for you.
Oh Lord.
Close the door.
I think sometimes people just they get, when you get emotional, that's the thing. You know,
Yeah,
at
they
the end
kept
of the
saying you
day,
was
a
emotional.
lot of people have mixed feelings about it because, like I said before, if you're not a biased person, you're not going to just jump the gun. One thing with me, I'm not biased, so I'm never going to just jump the gun on one angle and then turn around and just fully commit to something. Like I said before, I'm gonna go based off of concrete evidence. I'm gonna go based off of, things that can be proven, things that can be proven in court. And a lot of people see what's going on, and everybody has mixed feelings. That's why we have this, wonderful platform called YouTube, so we all can give our own perspective on the matter, and somebody shouldn't feel disrespected or feel like somebody ain't vouching for them because you don't agree with everything they're saying. That's called a hive mind. I'm not a hive-minded individual. I'm a leader, and I'm always going to give my perspective on the matter, on the situation, regardless. If I never once, if you can point out a video where I literally said against someone, or if I'm just giving a perspective that is broad, because I don't go against people. I give broad perspectives. Just because I do not fully agree, Nancy, does not mean I'm against somebody. That's like the world. That's like me being in America, right? That's like me being in America, right? I may not agree with everything in America, but doesn't mean that I'm against America. You got to think about it like that. No, yeah. When you run into a panel, women, a lot of people, like I said before, at the end of the day, I appreciate them allowing me on the panel to give my perspective, even though when I was getting cut off and, they was okay with it. Everybody was fine with cutting me off. But every time I said something, they turn around and saying, oh, he being aggressive, he being this, he being that. But that's what happened when you're a black man. When you're a black man, you got to go through that because people think that because you have such authority in your voice. I feel like all black men got to deal with that because when we're speaking, our voice is a little bit deeper, our voice is a little bit stronger, so we come off a little bit more, harder than the average individual. And don't get me wrong, I understand that, but let me tell you what's interesting, right? Why do people act like there ain't two sides to a coin? Why some people act like there's their side, another person's side, and the truth? And why, because you stand on truth, you're an enemy? Why am I an enemy because I stand on truth? I don't understand that. If I stand on truth, why am I an enemy? I'm not for CJ, and I'm not for royalty. I'm just for truth. And I think people get upset because you're not going to pick a side. It's not about picking sides, but I do pick the truth at the end of the day. I will pick the truth over everybody each and every day. I don't care what other people say in the world. I pick truth only. I ain't gonna lie. At the end of the day, it's one of them situations where if you get overly emotional, and I think some people get very, very overly emotional, like the princess girl. She was writing paragraphs on one of my videos every time, but then she was saying that she wasn't emotional. You got to be emotional to write paragraphs. You got to be emotional. Right when the first thing I said on the panel, she just started to cuss and say that I'm a fraud, but then you can't prove that I'm a fraud, though. Let me say, we believe her if CJ say, I don't know about, I think that mean. Like at the end of the day, it's not the fact that I don't believe somebody or I want to disagree with someone. I look at logic and I look at facts. I'm never going to look at a situation just because I'm close or I feel like I'm, some type of friend to an individual and just disregard all aspects of truth. I'm never going to do that. Yeah, like I ain't gonna lie, that
Exactly.
princess gun,
Yeah.
whatever the case may be, she said I was being rude, but the funny thing was she kept being disrespectful. How you a grown woman and you in the background every time I speak, you're saying something. Every time I said something, she was saying you a fraud. What kind of you coming off as immature when you do that? And then you notice how I wasn't even being. And let me tell you what's interesting. What people got to realize, I wasn't being disrespectful. Because believe me, if they call that disrespect, they really don't
Right.
know me.
No.
Because boy, I can say some shit that's out of this world. But the thing is, I'm not gonna do that. I'm on a platform at the end of the day. I'm not trying to go back and forth. I'm trying to make sure people can delegate. We can conglomerate. We can come together and make a lot of sense. But why sit up here and be emotional about something when we can just give each other perspectives? They said that I lied about something. And I said, where did I lie about it? And then they said I was talking about why she ain't bringing up during the trial. They just took the preconceived notion and thought I was saying about the situation when Jalea told royalty. I was talking about the situation in 2018 when CPS came over the house and they were saying, oh, they questioned Jalea individually. Like they was like, oh, what happened here? Did it, what was going on in this house? And Jalea denied it. That's what I was talking about. Then they said, and then a girl said it was irrelevant to bring up that in court. Are you serious? That is not irrelevant to bring up in court. That is actually a good position to take because that's actually something
A history of
of
their
history of
behavior.
behavior.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I think that's kind of wild if somebody say, "Oh no, don't bring up something in court," because number one, they heard what she said. It happened a long time ago. Duh, the situation happened a
Happened a
long
long
time
time
ago
ago.
with Jalea. So you trying to basically say it's all null and void because you bring up something in the past? See, sometimes people don't listen to what they say, but I hope they go back and watch that live and maybe they can catch my drift and realize what was going on.
She was a baby at the time. She was in her 20s.
You told you you look grown. What kind of? Exactly. But you know what's funny though? You got a lot of people out there that got that type of like talking points. Like they say shit like that. Like I know a lot of people that speak like that. And they'll say something like, ooh, look at your hat, dude. You look like you grown today.
Mm-hmm.
Like they'll say something like that. And it's kind of, and be honest with you, that's why I think sometimes too, when somebody point out something about you, they're gonna nitpick everything that you say or ever did.
Yeah.
Why you think what's going on with Diddy? Everything Diddy do or everything he ever bought, every person he ever ran into, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna all try to connect the dots and be like, oh, because he did this, this has to be connected to this. Not every aspect about that person's life is literally surrounded by allegations. I mean, you can't even go in the kitchen and say, "Ooh, this chicken right here, boy, it's small and it look good." You gonna say, "Ooh, small and look good." The chicken small and look good. That got something to do with Jalea. You see, that's what a lot of people are gonna do. But at the end of the day, like I said before, I'm just a rational thinker. I'm not going to, just base something off of what somebody said. There's been things on both sides that have been confusing.
Yeah.
And anybody can say what they want to say. There's things on both sides that have been confusing. And that is a fact.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we don't know
It is
none of
a
them
fact.
personally. Like,
Okay, look at R. Kelly. Just don't speak about Rose. Okay, Michelle, just have a good one, man. At the end of the
bye.
day, you don't have to be on my channel. But like I said before, a lot of people, they get so passionate about a situation. If CJ was as guilty as a lot of people saying, I'm not saying that he ain't, but I'm just saying if y'all got all that probable cause, then guess what? He should be arrested right now, just like CMR. He should be arrested right now. What's holding up the investigators? And people saying because they're not in the same home. That don't
It
make any
don't
sense.
matter.
That's why they got
People who
statutes of
commit
limitations.
people who commit
No, that's why
crimes
they
don't
have statutes
always.
of limitations. You know why they have statute of limitations for? Because they don't care about how long ago it was. They don't care if it was 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. They gonna get your ass just like they did Bill Cosby. Those women was old as hell in that courtroom. I'm talking about dirt old. And this happened when they was in their teens, when they was young women. How come they came back and got them? Because people always want to create a narrative that suits them only. He said, huh? No, it didn't take a while. No, I'm not taking sides, number one. They're because I do not agree with the process. Why do people think you pick sides because you don't agree with the process? I don't agree with how people approach the situation. That's all I'm saying. I don't agree with that. I don't agree when a person turns around and says, "Oh, this little girl about to ruin your career." I felt like as an individual that if you're been molested or SA, you don't use that as a means to use as a threat. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that it didn't happen. I'm just saying just don't use that as a means because it makes people question the situation. That's all I'm saying. So when you look at it, then you got, you know, this Nancy get that's it. But if she want to talk on a panel, and I got one, let her come on the panel. But you know why? When you're on somebody else's panel, you can't do all that nonsense. They keep saying, you know, it's funny. They keep saying I'm not royalty nation or I'm not this. I told
No.
everybody from the very beginning, I'm on truth side. I'm on God's side. You know, at the end of the day, I don't even know why people keep saying that. I make content and react to the videos I see and give my perspective. If you want to pick sides, that's on you. I'm not picking nobody. I pick truth at the end of the day. And if royalty is seen in a way like, you know, celebrating holidays or doing this, and you say you forgot, I'm gonna point it out. If CJ does it, I'm pointing out and say, hey, how you forgot and you celebrating holidays? I'm pointing out on either side. I don't care about whose side it is. That's the problem with a lot of people. They think, oh, it's about how, you know, you got to approach the situation from a side. You got to pick a standpoint. No, I pick truth. She said that she is moving forward and don't like the way people are. And let me tell you what's interesting, right? The video that she said that Jalea when she first cried on, right? That video is monetized.
Exactly.
I wouldn't put out a video. Let me tell you what's funny. I wouldn't put out a video and I would not monetize a video on the situation about my daughter. They keep saying that monetizing content, right?
Right.
Why does royalty have that video with Jalea and it's monetized? I don't understand that. Because they saying that people are monetizing off of it. You shouldn't have a video of your daughter if people want to use that as a reference. Don't use that as a reference to me.
Exactly.
Because that's weird to me coming on my channel saying that using content as monetization. Doesn't everybody on YouTube do that? But then also, didn't royalty put out that video about saying that I found out about the situation with her daughter and this, that, and the third, and then ultimately that video is monetized as ads on it. But then they'll come at me and say I'm monetizing something off a video. But wait a minute. No, I'm not doing it for entertainment and views. I'm giving my perspective. But I will say to YouTube, so YouTube ain't finna come flag me on no video. So I will say for YouTube purposes, it's all for entertainment. I will say that. I will tell YouTube that. Because YouTube ain't finna get me and say that I was over here speaking something that's going to court or something that can possibly be a proceeding and people can get defamation. I'm not finna do that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm never gonna say that online. That's how you get yourself in a shitload of trouble. You know, at the end of the day, I'm not finna do that. I'm gonna say for entertainment purposes to YouTube, so YouTube don't come at me and be like, "Oh, didn't you say this during that time frame? You said that it was legit that he was guilty. Didn't you say that?" And then YouTube gonna come rain down on you. I don't play them type of games. Play can't tell.
I don't know what
I don't know what that means. Yeah. So at the end of the day, that's all I'm saying. People should be able to give their perspective without being criticized for it. You know, without feeling like somebody's coming at you in some weird way. You know, I'm not on no one side. I'm just on truth side. I feel like CJ is very flawed. I feel like he has a lot of issues. I feel like he goes back and forth with his family. I feel like he doesn't truly stand on business. I feel like CJ does a lot of that. But then on the flip side as well, I feel like there were things that could have been done better on royalty side as well. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. And if people feel like somebody can't do no wrong in their eyes, and the Bible even tells you, anyone that says they're without sin, the truth is not in them. So if you sit up here and say somebody's without sin, the truth is not in you. That means you don't even believe in the Bible. So you got people that say a lot of things, but they don't even believe in the Bible. But how you about truth, but you're saying that, oh, somebody can't do no wrong in your eyes? That's strange to me. And everybody can do wrong. Everybody on this planet is flawed. Nobody is perfect.
Neutral.
Yeah. I'm neutral, man. I'm not going to ever say somebody is perfect. Ain't nobody perfect in my eyes. I'm sorry. Royalty ain't perfect. CJ ain't perfect. Nobody on goddamn YouTube is perfect. Not even damn Mr. Beast If people want to be like, oh, they fanned out by Mr. Beast, he ain't perfect. Ain't nobody perfect. But I just find it hilarious that a lot of people try to place you in a box because you won't entirely agree with them. And then I came on there being respectful, saying, let me give my perspective. I say one thing, everybody in the background saying I'm this, I'm that, and that. Why you don't, I'm flawed in the sand? Okay, if you're going to feel that way and you're going to say those things while being that very thing, while being disrespectful, that's a lot to look into. You got to look at the reflection in the mirror at the end of the day. Because why are you looking at me saying that I'm being disrespectful when I'm speaking calmly, when I'm not coming at from a place of emotion? I'm coming from a place of logic. And I think sometimes people ain't used to people like me, man. I'm very passionate about what I do. I come out vehemently all the time because that's just something I do. And at the end of the day, it's not a problem just because you have perspective on the matter. And at the end of the day, if they are so biased to the point where you make a damn video, let me put this up. You make a damn video, they so biased to the point where you make a video that they're willing to, freaking, get mad just because you don't agree 100% with everything. That is not the way life works. Ain't nobody gonna ever agree with you. And you heard what she said though, right? That was crazy. She said that they dropped the case. How does a case get dropped? You know why it got dropped? And I told them, because no probable cause. There was no problem. If they had probable cause, the case wouldn't have been dropped. And that's all I'm pointing out is facts. They act like I created the case and I'm the one that dropped the case. I'm the person in the courtroom that said, this case is not valid. Cut it. I'm just repeating what's true. They literally said the case would drop. And if I said the case would drop, I'm a royalty hater. But since they said the case would drop, they're not a royalty hater, right? They're just speaking facts. But if I speak facts, I'm a royalty hater.
This person talking about it's important to do your research.
And I do a lot of research. Tell me what exactly, A-Walk, that I'm saying that's not research. Please, can somebody, you know what I'm going to do too? I'm going to pull up a StreamYard. And I want everybody that's on this chat as well. Please come in the StreamYard.
Yes, Crown Vic.
Hey, I appreciate that, Crown Vic, because I'm about God at the end of the day. Crown Vic, that's what I want to have Crown Vic on the panel, man. Yeah. Make sure to have Crown Vic on my panel coming up when we do StreamYard. Because I want Crown Vic on my channel. I want him on my channel. Oh, no, don't worry about it. I ain't going to say you ain't got to join. I'm talking about Crown Vic. But if anybody else want to join the panel, that's fine. But I say Crown Vic, I definitely want him on the panel. Because I love people that think logic. I love people that got a good sense of just intelligence and understand.
Like this person, Wanda, you saying it's not gonna get no views, but then you're still tuning in.
But guess what? You over here giving me a view, Wanda. Don't you know that you're giving me a view by being on here?
I'm out.
What is she talking about? I don't understand her. But at the end of the day, we're gonna have Crown Vic on the panel. We're gonna have other people that's like-minded on the panel. And A-Walk, I don't know who that person is. Who's this A-Walk person? Because they sound like they don't really have any common sense or a photo. You know what's funny about individuals like this? Like A-Walk? They always commenting, but they'll never get on the panel. They'll never speak. They'll never show their photo. Where's your face? Why don't this person that's A-Walk pull up your face? Let me see how you look. Nah, I ain't gonna be getting told off nothing. Because at the end of the day, nobody cares about that. That is like CJ's situation with royalty is one aspect on YouTube. YouTube is too big of a world to be worrying about one particular situation. That's one particular situation. There's a lot of things on YouTube. There's a lot of things in the world going on, not just that situation. And at the end of the day, every single day that CJ So Cool and royalty go back and forth and people love drama, people are going to tune into it. And that's the thing. Anytime you post about God, you post about the 10 Commandments, you post about truth, they ain't going to tune in. But I guarantee you post about some CJ So Cool shit or some royalty stuff, they going to be the first one trying to see the video. But you post about God, I bet they ass cleared. You post about how you supposed to change your life and examine yourself, I bet they ass cleared. You talk about how you supposed to seek God and seek his face and turn away from your wicked ways. I guarantee you they won't look at the fucking video. I
Exactly.
bet if I post a video right now and say, hey, them same people that's fanned out, if I post a video about 7 signs that you chosen by God, I bet none of them people gonna be on that video. And that lets you know a lot about them, that they love violence. They love anything that's misery. They love anything that's conflict. They don't like anything godly. That's why when you talk about CJ, oh, if I put a video right now and say, oh, CJ so cool, then told royalty that he done with her and them twins, I bet everybody and their mama jump on that video and be like, oh shit, CJ done with the twins. But if I post some shit like, oh, this is how you get closer to God, ain't nobody showing up, bro. Ain't nobody gonna show up. Nobody care about God. They care more about, you know what's sad? I never seen some people go so hard about a person, but they won't go that hard about the person that died for them. They ain't gonna go hard about Christ. Where are they going hard about Christ? Christ literally died for us to be redeemed. But you know what they gonna do? I don't see them writing paragraphs on no videos. I can bring God in anything I want. I can bring God in any, you know why? Because God created us all and he will destroy us all. That's why I'm bringing God up. You know why? God gave you the ability to get out of bed this morning. Somebody reacts, right? Did God not give you the ability to get out of bed this morning? Did God not give you the ability to speak? Did God not give you the ability to think? So why are you sitting there saying God, bring God into this? You know why? Because God is in everything. Yeah. Didn't Christ say I'm the way, the truth, and the life? Didn't God say I'm the way, the truth, and the life? So I love when people say, well, I'm bringing God up. You know why? Because God created all this shit. And God gonna do away with all this shit. I can bring God up in any fashion. I can bring Christ up because he created all of us and he will destroy all of us.
Okay, bye somebody.
So bring that, so somebody else, I don't want to hear that. I'm not making this political. I'm making this real life. Why does Christ got to be political? Why does Christ? No, wait a minute. Why does? No, I'm not religious. I'm spiritual. And I know people don't give a damn because if you ain't talking about some drama, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. They clicking on you. You know what they doing? They clicking on here to say, they want to say, oh man, is he talking shit about somebody? You talk about God, right? They're like this, man, let me get off of this right quick. Let me go back to my sinful ways. Let me go back to the bullshit. Let me go back to talking trash. Let me go back to feeding into other people's drama that ain't even my life. I don't even got no, half of these people online talking about CJ. And CJ got more money than them. Half of these people online talking about CJ, but this nigga got more money than them. I don't give a fuck about CJ. But you know what? I'm going to put content and get my perspective, but fuck that nigga. And I would tell CJ to his face, fuck that nigga. I don't give a fuck about CJ. I don't give a fuck about Nike. I don't give a fuck about none of them. Because at the end of the day, I don't know them. Why do I care about people I don't know? Man, fuck CJ, man. Fuck that nigga. And I don't care. If I seen CJ in person, I wouldn't even look at the nigga. What the fuck? It goes the same way both ways. Oh, sorry about that, Rose. I don't want to go too hard. But I'm just saying, at the end of the day, sorry, sometimes, I might use a few obscenities. I use a few obscenities. My apology. At the end of the day, the Most I said, do not cast your pearls to dogs and swine. And my bad.
You have a job.
My bad. And oh, yeah, I do got a job. I got a very important job, too. Jay, I can put you up on game. I got a very important job. I mean, I got a very high job. Very important job. I actually run a whole business. So, Jay, hey, if you want to get down on that, I can teach you how to delegate and conglomerate and all that shit. Come on, you can fuck with me now. I'm sorry about apologies about the cussing. But God won't be. Let me tell you something. God is pleased with those that oppose evil. The Bible says he is pleased with those that oppose evil. So at the end of the day, and what the Bible also states, he said, raise up thy voice as a trumpet and point out the iniquities and flaws to the brethren. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to point out the iniquities and the flaws to the individuals out there. I'm going to point out your iniquities and your flaws. Because you know why? Any man that vouch for another man and don't vouch for God, that is wild to me. Everybody is vouching for humans. Where's that same passion for God? Where's that same passion for Christ? I never seen people ride so hard, but if I talk about the Bible, they finna say, oh, nobody care about that political shit. Nobody care about that biblical this. Nobody care about that. Wait a minute. You ain't gonna disrespect God when I'm around. You ain't finna disrespect God when I'm around. Ain't nobody gonna disrespect God because I'm a soldier. God said in the Bible, he said, I am a man of war. Let me tell you something. He said there's a time to love and there's a time to hate. There's a time for peace. Boy, let me tell you something. And at this moment in time, people want to have war. People want to have war. I'm not with that bullshit. I ain't finna have, I come on people panel, I speak nice, I speak in a way that people can understand.
People's being rude.
And people were being just considerably just rude. And it's just wild to me that a lot of people would vouch for that. And let me tell you something. You got people that represent you in a way, especially like that princess girl. That girl's so damn rude, it make no sense. And and let me tell you something. She claimed that she's not this and that, right? How you up in the middle of the night on somebody's page writing paragraphs, but you ain't passionate and you ain't emotional? That's, you showed me you ain't shit but emotional. But all up on somebody's page though. How you all up on my page, but you claim you ain't emotional? You is emotional. Who even would go out of their way to talk about somebody? I wouldn't. You notice I never talk about nobody. I'll go on my live talking about the things that I review. I review what I review on YouTube. These are people that broadcast their life on YouTube for you to give a perspective on the matter. It ain't no different. It ain't no different in sports. I'm not going in people in the comments and talking about people that don't even post videos, that don't even broadcast their life, don't even give a perspective on anything that's political or nothing like that. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about somebody who literally is posting videos and he has a fan base of children, just like Royalty has a fan base. And just like other YouTubers, like DDG and anybody else have fan base. They put their stuff on the fucking screen on YouTube for you to give a perspective. That's all I'm doing. Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, that woman, let me tell you something. I'm surprised, to be honest with you, that people would even have somebody like that on their panel. Why would you even have somebody like Princess on your panel? Like, that is crazy to me. Like, that girl is so rude. Like, to be honest with you, and she sounds like an older woman, too. Yeah. And it sounds like to me she has kids. And I ain't going to say, at the end of the day, if you have children, if you're a mother and you act like that, that says a lot about you. That says a lot about you. Man, at the end of the day, I would never in my life, you know, get on a panel and just start saying stuff like fraud. And she can't even prove it. I said, what did I say that was wrong? She keep bringing up the same line, but she said, they kept saying I said multiple things that was wrong. They couldn't even bring it up. Couldn't even bring it up. All they kept saying was the same thing. Oh, you said that, why she didn't bring it up in the trial? I said the 2018 CPS case when they came to the house and questioned Jalea by herself. And you literally told me that the CPS investigators dropped the case because there was no probable cause. And you telling me, you know why she didn't bring it up in court? Because she lost. But that's still something to bring up. You still bring it up. Regardless of the fact. And I don't mind about that. You know, at the end of the day, it's not about, picking sides. It's just about truth. But a lot of people got to understand, just because you have perspectives does not mean that you have to pick a side with anyone. You have the free will, just like you as a human, just like God gave you a free will. It's funny, too, because God even gave you a free will, whether or not, if you want to serve him or not. Yeah. And you mean to tell me somebody gonna make me feel like I don't have a free will because I just don't want to agree with you? You're not God. Like, it's like people, they act like they're humble, but then they come off very, very strong-minded. Mm-hmm. And that to me is just not legit. I'm just not for that. I'm just not for that at all. You're mocking Royalty and her children and nation party about them starving. Now, at the end of the day, like I said, you ain't got to mock nobody. You ain't got to do nothing with nobody. Because at the end of the day, let's let truth prevail on both sides. You ain't got to come at anyone. Like I always tell people at the end of the day, I don't got to talk about nobody kids. I ain't got to talk about how somebody look. I ain't got to talk about how somebody, you know, carries themselves. I don't have to say none of that. All I'm basing things off of is what's being presented. At the end of the day, I didn't, like when she said the CPS case was dropped. If a case was dropped and they found no probable cause for it, I'm saying you still should have brought that up in court. It doesn't matter. Bring it up in court. Do anything to help you in your case. Do anything to help you. Don't allow just one thing. Do anything to help you. But I'm not trying to, like, it's like people sometimes, they try to create a hostile environment. I'm not trying to create a hostile environment. Who the heck is Michelle? Are you talking about Simple Michelle? Like Serious Cool's mom. Like at the end of the day, Serious Cool's mom has no right to speak on anything. But that doesn't mean that somebody can't say, hey, even a wicked person can say something godly. Even an evil person can say something godly at the end of the day. So that's how I got to look at it. Even an evil person can say something good. So, and people act like, oh, just because somebody is evil, they can't say a Bible verse.
One thing. That's good.
Even an evil person can say a Bible verse. You know, that's how you got to look at it. So at the end of the day, I'm not like, when I look at Simple Michelle, how she acts, you know, her giving her perspective. I mean, she left her kids at the end of the day, you know, to the system.
Right.
And at the end of the day, but God sees it like this. Even a person like her, that's why we're not God. Even a person like her still has the chance to redeem themselves. And that's crazy. But at the end of the day, we're not God. God gives everybody a chance to redeem themselves. Oh, I'm going to do StreamYard. I'm going to actually end up doing StreamYard. I should actually pull that up and do StreamYard.
Maybe like 8:30.
You're going to do about 8:30? I'm going to do StreamYard 8:30. I'm going to do StreamYard 8:30. Make sure y'all on StreamYard. Number one, like I said before, I'm not slandering. What I'm saying to her is that she did let her kids go into the system. So she did do a lot of things that was disrespectful. But at the end of the day, she still can be redeemed. I mean, she want to ride for her son, she can. It's like people act like a person can't ride for her son just because she has a past. She can ride for her son. If she want to ride for her son, let her ride for her son. That's her. She has the right to do whatever she want to do. That's her kid. She pushed them out. Ride for him. You know, I have no problem with that lady riding with her son. Doesn't mean I have to agree with her. You know, and at the end of the day, doesn't mean I have to agree with anything anybody says. But like I said, a lot of people are going to come from a place of emotion instead of coming from a place of logic. But I'm going to do a stream at 8:30. I want to do a stream at 8:30, and I want y'all to be on there, man. Y'all come on there. We're going to have a little panel, and we're going to talk about this.